Hey guys, so this is Maddie Walsh here, and I'm going to be doing a video about, well, I'm going to be living with my mom from now on because it's just a long story, and I'm going to tell you why. So hold tight. So it's because of my dad. It's not just because of my dad, it's because of my stepmom. I don't even like to call her my stepmom at all. Um, but when my dad started dating her, she was fine. She was okay. She was cool. She was patient. She was nice. Um, but when my dad got so serious with her, they just started making out right in front of me. I said, "Can you please not do that? I've been telling them so many times, do not make out in front of me." They don't listen. They don't listen at all. I said it makes me uncomfortable, blah blah. They don't care. They don't listen. And so it's just that it's not just her I don't like. Well, now I don't like her, but it's just not her that I don't like. It's just that she just she her and my dad just make out, and it just makes me very uncomfortable too. Even though if I can hear them kissing, they're loud. And 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 that's when I just say, okay, I feel very uncomfortable. Could you please stop doing that? Like, I told him, like, quite a thousand times already. And this is why I don't like going anywhere, is because before my dad even lived with her, um, he would go in the house and start to make out for like 5 minutes. It's just a quick peck and you're done. So, and that's why I don't like going anywhere. That's why I don't like going to like places like, um, I'm not gonna say it, but like my family's party, um, my family holiday parties, because of her and my dad making out for 5 minutes. That's not that's not even normal, to be honest with you. Um, and they don't do it in a private spot. They do it right in front of me, and that's why I always get in the house and say, "Okay, you're done." Because they don't need to be making up for 5 minutes. I don't need to be honking my horn, my dad's car horn, and say, "Okay, you guys are done. Let's go." You know, and so and then so he invited me to a Red Wings game. We had season tickets because he gets from his work. Um, and you know how I get very excited when I get not get season tickets. When I go to games, I start to be all wild. I mean, you know how I am, and my dad knows how I am. He goes, "Okay, cool down." I was like, "Just let me have fun," And all of a sudden, my she just my she doesn't get to touch me. That's one thing. She grabbed my face and said, "You want to go back to the car? You want to go back to the car?" And I was like, "What are you even talking about?" I just told my dad, let me have some fun. Because he knows how I am. He does. I just felt embarrassed that she was touching me. Like, she was like grabbing my face like this and just holding my face against hers. She don't get to do that. She don't get to touch me. She ain't my real mom. She wasn't even engaged to my dad at the time. She wasn't. So, and then and then she just started to get more meaner. She started to like she wasn't even sharing my dad with me. She was like hogging my dad all the time. All the time. Like, she wasn't even like letting me like spend time with my dad. Because whatever my stepmom wants, she wants. My dad gives it to her. And you're really going to do this over your own daughter? Really? Really? And then whatever my step whatever not my stepdad, but whatever my stepdad wants, sorry, whatever my stepmom wants, she wants. Whatever my stepmom gets, she gets. because my dad gives it to her, and whatever she wants, my dad gives it to her. Really, you don't give it to me over your own daughter. Are you serious? That is so messed up. Really messed up. And then when my dad married her, like before they even like when I found like they were engaged, I didn't feel like going to his wedding. Is because I knew that everything was my fault if I went there. Because every time when I go to like his family holiday parties, everything is my fault. I don't even like going there because everything is my fault and it's not. Everything's blamed on me and it's not. And that's not fair to me. So, and then like, so, and then, and then, so, and then when I told my younger sister that I'm not going to dad's wedding, and then she went to tell my mom, and then she went to tell my boyfriend, and my boyfriend went off on me. I said, okay, fine. And, he was invited, so I was like, okay, fine, I'll go. And then, and then he's like, I don't even know how to say this. Not my boyfriend, but um, I just had this evil look in my face when I was looking down, uh, like I cannot believe my dad has done this. Like, like my boyfriend has never seen that evil look on my face before. I don't think no one saw the evil look on my face before. But my boyfriend looks over and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I just want to stay at your house, please." So I did that. But I just, I couldn't even explain my evil look on my face when I looked down. I just looked like, oh my God, I cannot believe my dad just did this, you know? And so, anyways, so then it was, and well, before they even got married, we had my mom and my stepdad, my dad, me, and my stepmom, I call her. I'm going to do this now. So so she's like if you like she we were at dinner, we were talking about like updates and where we're living, blah blah blah. And she goes, if you ever be disrespectful to your dad, I will put my hands on you. I said, if you put your hands on me, I'm calling Dearborn Police. I'm calling, no, not Dearborn Police. I'm calling Dearborn Heights Police and calling Adult Protective Services. You do not get to put your hands on me. You ain't not my mom. You may be my stepmom, but you ain't my mom. You ain't. My mom only gets to put my hands on me, not my stepmom. So, so anyways, so anyways, it was just like ridiculous how she said that. And my mom even said she heard it too. So I'm just surprised that my mom would like say, you don't get to put your hands on her, but whatever. Well, because I'm an adult. I mean, nobody should put their hands on no adults. You know. So, anyways, so when my dad got married, all that, and then I started to live with them, with both my mom and my dad, because my mom and my dad had like every other custody of me living there. It's not like like, because I'm an adult and I do not do my taxes, so all of them are my guardians, so they do not and plus I don't, that's why I don't live like in an apartment or anything, because for one, I can't do my taxes, and I can't, it's personal why I live with my mom and dad. It does have to do something with taxes. Um, so anyways, so I was just like, I was less like, and then when I started living with them, um, my mom and my stepdad would drive me to work. And then when I lived in Dearborn Heights with them, my stepmom was like, "Okay, you're going to walk to Dearborn Heights all the way to Wyandotte to go to McDonald's. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Are you serious? You know how far that is, and plus I don't even know where that is. I don't. To be honest with you, I do not do directions for I do not deal with directions. I don't know the directions, to be honest with you. That's the one reason why I don't drive yet. So, so, and then, and then, and then my dad wouldn't drive me, and would be, when we did this guardian court thing, when we did this when we did this guardian court thing, it said right in the paper the rules are you are gonna drive your daughter or your son to work. He's not driving me. He is too late. They're both too lazy to drive me. My stepmom and my dad are too lazy to drive me to work. So I literally had to quit my job. It's because of them. That's not fair to me. That's not fair that I had to quit my job because they wouldn't drive me. That's not fair to me. It ain't fair. And you want me to pay for my own Uber. Excuse me, I don't have the money for an Uber. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? So so anyways, so anyways, so 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 when I started saying you know, they have like she has very strict rules. And no adult should be having strict rules. And no adult should be grounded either. But um so I like having my door open. That's why you see in the background. And I like having my door open at my dad's house because I feel very claustrophobic. Because I am claustrophobic. Sorry about that. I am claustrophobic. I really am. And so that's why I like having my door open. And then I do open the door, whatever, you know, at people's houses. So, so I just got very offended what my stepmom said. Um, so this was like having the TV on or whatever. So something about the TV it can't be on till after 10 o'clock. That's crazy. Are you kidding me? So anyways, I said, um, so I said something like I said something, I said something like, how do I say this? Like I said, like, like my dad, like it was 9:57. It wasn't even 10 o'clock yet, and my stepmom's alarm was going off, and you know how I get very worried about alarms and stuff. It was like not a car alarm, it was her phone alarm that went off, and I was getting, and you know how I get panic attacks when an alarm goes off. I really do. So and then she's like, and then it was like I said, it was 10:01. And she goes, why isn't the TV turned off? I said, you never asked me. She goes, again, why isn't the TV turned off? And so I turned it off. And I even said, you never asked me. And she goes, your dad was even saying that it was about to turn the TV off. I said, no, he did not say that. He said it's almost about to turn the TV off. She goes, Maddie, he did not say that. She goes, you were crazy about my alarm going off. And be honest with you, you do not call people crazy. That is a slang word for mental health people. It really is. And you should not be using the word crazy. And that doesn't go for her. That goes for everyone, you know. So, so anyways, and then all of a sudden she started mocking me and said that I wasn't an adult. She was actually using this voice too. Oh, Manny has to be a little kid because she can't be an adult yet. She can't be an adult because she has to be a little kid because people have to tell her what to do. Yeah, and when she went to bed, I just felt very offended. I didn't feel safe living there. Hold on, I gotta turn over. I just didn't feel safe living there. And after what she did, it was not acceptable. And, and so I was even saying like, you know, the, Like, I was even saying that this is not going to happen. I am not going to live with my dad if my stepmom is going to be very disrespectful to me. It's not going to happen because that I do really call on call for that for one thing, and I do not respect that at all. I do not accept it. I do not respect it, and I do not, and that is very uncalled for and very unnecessary. So, so anyways, um, so anyways, so every time I'm at home by myself, they like like if I stay over, like they don't want no boys over unless there's an adult there. Are you crazy? I'm an adult. Are you crazy? I'm an adult. That's what I found very uncalled for because they don't think I'm an adult. And so anyways, like if I had a boyfriend over, I mean it was okay if it was like a friend that was a girl, but if it was like a boyfriend, they said no. Um so so anyways, so this was kind of stupid, and I think it is. And so they let me spend the night at my boyfriend's house, but they will not have my boyfriend spend the night here unless it was in a different room. That's very stupid because my mom does the same thing. Like, not my mom does the same thing. Since I'm 28 years old, my mom would let my boyfriend come in anytime because I would call her first, obviously. But my mom would let my boyfriend come in, and if he needs to spend the night, he will. And you know, and so anyway, so and I stayed by myself before home at home for like, and I was, and my mom wanted me, and my mom sometimes wants me to watch the house when she's up north or whatever. So anyways, I watch, like if my dad was going on vacation, they want me to go with him. They want me, like, if I didn't want to go, I couldn't stay home by myself. I had to go have a babysitter to watch me. That's why I always feel like that's why I always get treated like I'm a kid, is because someone has to watch me because feel like I'm a little kid. And that's why everybody calls me that I'm a kid, because I have to have a babysitter to watch me. So, or go over someone's house because obviously they can't stay. Um, so but if they were gone for like hours, I'm okay by myself. I really am. So, anyways, oh, this was kind of stupid, but I I don't even know how to say this, but they were my they said, okay, we're coming to pick up Maddie. And this was like Tuesday, I want to say. Tuesday, I think. This was Tuesday afternoon, and I was here, and my mom wanted me to watch the house on Tuesday while she was up north on 4th of July weekend. So, anyways, so so my stepmom and my dad, like I said, they told my mom I'm gonna come and get Maddie. And I told them I don't want to go there. And my mom's like, okay, I'll tell him that. They told him not to come over. And what did they do? They still came over. And my mom specifically told them, do not come over. And what did they do? They still came over. So, so they were banging on the door. I don't even know who it was. And then I looked out the window, and there it was, my stepmom, not my dad. My stepmom was standing on there. Not my dad, though. Not my dad. And so I called my mom up and said, hey, you know that they're here, right? Only my stepmom's here, not not dad. And she goes, I don't know why she's up there, but not dad. I was like, exactly. Why isn't my dad up there? So then and while I was on the phone with my mom, I called my dad. Oh no, sorry. My dad called me and said, come to the front door. So I came to the front door and they were like saying, okay, come on, get your stuff. We're going. I said, I'm not going. He goes, you are. I said, no, I am not. And, he goes, well, we, like, we're going, like he was even saying that, well, you cannot stay here by yourself. I said, excuse me? You not think I'm an adult? For real. So, so anyways, so anyways, so so I called my mom because they would not leave me alone. They were harassing me to go. They were kind of forcing me to go. They said, we're not forcing you. I said, your voice is forcing me. Do you not hear yourself? So anyways, and then we got my older sister into this because obviously my dad listens to my older sister. This time he didn't, because I like when my dad, like, I liked when my dad was like, had a good point. But obviously we have cameras. We're friends with the neighbors. We have a special, like, over that house, we have a special needs teacher living there. Um, living next door, and I am special needs. And then we were friends with this neighbor over here. So, and we have the neighbor's number. We're in a group chat with them, and we're in a group chat with them. So, and we have cameras all over the place. So and my dad even said, what if the smoke detector went off? What if a stranger came to your house and break the window? What if a car alarm went off? I said, I know what to do. Is because you keep on forgetting I was in the apartment class if a smoke detector went off. Because I do have anxiety attacks and panic attacks. That's part of my mental health issues. And yeah, and so I was like, and I even said to them that, like, I have my anxiety attack medicine here. You keep on forgetting that I have it here. So so anyways, they were like, they were they were like forcing me to go, and I was like, Dad, I do not want to go. Can you please leave me alone? So anyways, I said, if you don't get off, if I even said to this to them, I said, if you don't get off our property, I might have to call the cops. And my stepmom's like, please do. I said, okay, I will do that. I will do that. So so anyways, so so anyways, um so anyways, um so so we were literally like, they were sitting in their church parking lot in their car, which they're not even supposed to be in there, because my dad even knows this, not to sit in their church parking lot or their car will get towed. Because for one, it's church property, alley, and two, they said that if you park in our car, Jesus cares. It's because your car will get towed because Jesus care. Why would Jesus care? But anyways, different story about that. So I told my dad, I looked out the window. They were still sitting in the car, and I was like, that's it. I'm calling the police. Because before I even called the police, they were thinking I was like, oh no, they were thinking on how they were gonna get me out of the house. They weren't gonna get me out of the house. Hell no, they weren't getting me out anyway. So 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 they were getting. So I said to them, not said to them, but, and then my dad done this before, and this was 8 years ago when I was 20 years old. He has dragged me out the door by my arms, and he made marks on my arms. I should have taken a picture of that, and I don't even know how I could have took a picture of it and sent it to the police, because I didn't have an iPhone back then. I had like a slide text phone that does take pictures, but couldn't send it to anyone, but I could show people. So I don't think I had my phone at the time, but anyways, he literally like he was if I didn't come out of that house, he was literally gonna drag me out of the house. I said I if he dragged me out of the house, I would be like, you ain't touching me. There's no way you ain't touching me. And before they even sat in the church parking lot, my mom even welcomed them to stay. And they said, and my dad's like, well, I have work tomorrow. Okay, bring your computer here. I can't bring my computer. How did you get into my stepmom's house then? You tell me that. You can bring your computer here. It was so stupid. It really was. Because if he can bring his computer to my stepmom's house, he can bring it here. He can. There's no excuse for that. That was so in a lame excuse for that. It really was. So I called the police because they were still sitting in the church parking lot saying that, thinking like, oh, how are we going to get her out of the house? So I said, and I called the wind up police because I live right down the street from it. And